Life with Dad. A story in cartoons. Rated PG. From the time I was a little girl, I've looked up to my dad. We had a special bond. He called me the son he never had, even though I had 5 brothers. When I was about 6, he decided he'd teach me the facts of life. He popped 2 beach balls under my t-shirt and told me that was what I was going to look like when I grew up. The most important lesson he taught us all when we were little kids was, faint heart never fucked a pig. Dad always used colorful expressions, like, I'm having a bite to drink. I feel fresh as a goddamn daisy. It sticks like snot to a hot oven door. It's all part of life's rich pageant. A woman was a twist, a drink was a burst. And of course, the wolf of time is snapping at my ass. He also liked to play with words. We lived on Bassaline Road. Listen to Beeth Oven. It was January the Tooth. He told us not to get into a pancake, and so on. Dad loved to pull pranks, and no victim was too young. One Christmas Eve, after we had all gone to bed, he called us back downstairs with terrible news. Pierre Trudeau had canceled Christmas. In the mid-70s, Mom and Dad decided we needed a second family car. Dad surprised all of us when he pulled up in a 2-door Fiat Spider convertible. He tried to convince Mom that it was a sensible choice for a family of 8 by taking all of us kids out grocery shopping in it. Dad loved to cook and was very skilled in the kitchen, but you didn't want to take a look inside the pot. He had lots of signature dishes, like French onion soup, liverwurst pâté, crème brûlée, and his favorite, a cold, dead duck fat sandwich. He would cook a ham, slice it, put it back together, ice it with mayo, and decorate it. Once, using a carrot, cherry tomatoes, and parsley, he decorated a ham to look like my face. Dad always made me feel good about my looks. One summer when I told him I lost 10 pounds, he told me that was like a 747 losing a suitcase. My dad cared about his own appearance. He was a snappy dresser and sported lots of different looks over the years, like the safari suit in both long and short-sleeved versions, the stretchy velour house dress on those casual mornings, and to my horror, there was his sweatpants and dress shoes phase. For Canada Day, he dressed like Fred Flintstone, easiest costume ever. He wore a full-bodied, stretchy devil suit at his garage sale and goaded the old ladies to make a deal with the devil. There was Porky Dad, and of course, the teeth, no teeth Dad. Jean Rayaume was the most generous person I knew. Often he'd call one of us kids over. He'd put his hand in his pocket and jingle all the coins. He'd pull out his fist and shake it really hard, but it wouldn't make a sound. He'd offer to sell us everything in his hand for $1. It was a deal always worth taking. He would give us what he called ankle money so that we weren't walking around with empty pockets. When I was away at university, he would send me letters stuffed with cash and instructions to blow it all on drinks for my friends. Dad loved to have a good time with lots of drinks, and he always found a reason to throw a party. Christmas was a biggie, so was New Year's Eve. Birthdays, anybody's birthday. Canada Day, St. Patrick's Day, of course. Louis Riel Day, National Aboriginal Day, aka Summer Solstice, Winter Solstice, the discovery of Nutmeg Day, etc. So in December 2012, we decided to throw Dad a party. A whole bunch of us flew out to OK Falls to surprise him for his 80th birthday. We crashed in on his quiet night and kept the party going for 3 days. He later told Margaret that was his best birthday ever. I spent 10 days with Dad last spring when Margaret was out of town. We drove around the Okanagan, went to the casino, sat around in the backyard playing cribbage, drinking beer, eating chips, and spoiling our dinner. When I got back home, I found out I had cancer. Dad wrote me a letter right away. It said, After you lose a few pounds and people ask you how you did it, you can say, I had the big C. When they inevitably and sympathetically say, oh dear, you mean cancer? You can respond, no, syphilis. And then a few months later, Dad was in the hospital fighting the big C. He kept his wit and charm right to the end, flirting with the nurses and making the doctors laugh. A lot of people are missing you, Dad, especially me, the son you never had. Rest in peace, Joseph Eugene Réaume.